Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, continuing on with my Eochaid Mugmedón Connacht run. In the last episode, I managed to capture 14 hostages, an uneducated baker's dozen. And we're into winter, so we're going to do a couple of things. We're gonna sort out Eochaid's stress. He is stressed to the gills. So we'll come and take a look at some of the decisions. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have him call a hunt. It'll decrease 45 stress because he's brave. And then we might even have a feast straight away afterwards. So we will set that in motion. Another thing that we have to look at is our son, who returned to us. Niall Nanoi Gulloch, he will become one day, Niall of the Nine Hostages. So he had converted to Christianity in the last episode, and he has a fiancée who he can marry. But where the hell did all this come from? What it looks like happened, because I explained at the end of the last episode that he is said to be the grandson, basically, of a king of the Britons, and the way that it has been implemented here is that that king was deposed, so he's gone. His only child, Niall's mother, succeeded him, which means that Niall is now in line. He is the heir to Britannia, amongst other things. So, a Gaelic pagan is gonna inherit all of this at some time. So I'm hoping either that Niall's mother outlives Eochaid, because I'll probably just play as Eochaid. So hopefully we won't see Niall taking over this region during the playthrough. And if he does, we'll just continue raiding there anyway. I didn't fully realise that it was actually Niall's mother that Eochaid was attacking all through the last episode. So we raided a bit of this region and across here and then down the coast. And yeah, we were outside London, so we were quite close to the capital. But yeah, that's one of the weird oddities of how the genealogy is drawn out here. Anyway, we've started our feast. The one and only other thing that I'm going to do is we're going to come to Drumahair, and we are going to build a gathering hall to start getting some prestige. So I will construct that. We have a lot of money. And the reason that I need more prestige, we're decreasing in prestige, but we're getting a lot from our raids and our attacks, is because I want to recruit a Gaelic warband, which is an addition. Might also get some of these guys. I think they'd be great. Armoured in coats of iron, charging around Ireland, that sounds great. But Gaelic warbands are something that have been added for Gaelic cultures. They're very similar to light footmen. They counter heavy infantry. They have the same terrain effects from what I can see, but 12 damage compared to 30 for the Gaelic warband. This is 18 for the Gaelic and 17, I think, for the light footmen. And what's movement? Movement is, our pursuit is a bit slower, and screen is significantly lower. So, do you know what? We'll get an old section of them anyway. And the very final thing, I still don't know what it does. What we will do, 15, his martial is 15. We will come to Gaelic paganism, deities, and we'll click on this. What did it do? Did it do anything? I don't know. We have an errant heir. Our son, Brian, went ahead of the group, chasing a stag. I follow close behind, and I find him standing above a commoner, tugging an arrow out of the poor man's chest. It was the stag, father, I swear. The stag did this. Brian fought valiantly to save him, I saw it. We must cover this up. Or Trenka could expose him. You expose Brian's murder secret. Too bad the stag got you both. Call an ambulance, but not for the stag. What kind of... It's a diplomacy challenge. 54. Yeah, look, we'll give it a shot to see if we can claim that Brian fought valiantly to save our Diaglach from a crossbow-wielding stag. Will anyone believe us? It looks like they did. And Spedusa has finally died. Poor old Spedusa. I forgot about that. We captured her, forced her to convert to Gaelic paganism, and then released her. And she has died of old age. She actually recovered. So maybe we should have hired her as our physician. We return home, get some prestige, and everyone is fine. Everyone survived. I was just about to begin a feast, but what's after happening here? Munster is trying to capture Athlone from our ally. I can't remember who we married who to. That's our daughter-in-law, I think. Yeah, of course we'll accept. Of course we will accept. And the army isn't in tremendous shape. I thought we'd paused. The army isn't in tremendous shape. We will raise all. We'll put them under the lead of the man himself. And see what direction we're going to go. So from what I can see, this is a bit of a mess. Meath has been caught by some raiders from Leinster. And have now been caught by Munster's forces. I don't think there's much of a point in us going in there, is there? Where is a good defensive position? Is there a good defensive position? And I think there's more forces coming in as well, so that was a bad mistake by Meath. So Meath is falling back with a grand total of just 400 troops. I don't know, is Munster chasing them down? Somebody's chasing them down, that's the problem. It's those bloody forces from Leinster. So that was just really bad timing. Now the Munster army does seem to be splitting every once in a while. We have an ally at least, that's something good. I don't know if we could. Could we hit this army hard enough that we could actually do some serious damage before this army can come in? Who knows? Who knows? We might have been able to catch them a bit unprepared. We have taken Lued's son, Conal Kirk, who is another semi-mythological, semi-fictional ruler. We have taken him hostage. That brings us up to a grand total of 15, unless we caught a couple more. Let's see where we are. No, just 15. An even more uneducated baker's dozen. And here we're in against the chieftain himself. So we managed to catch their armies divided. I think we should be able to wrap this up. We taken the paw hostage as well. So we had Dedo and his son in the prison. They're both gone. They got out. But career total is up to 16. And we won a war or something as well. Yeah, I wasn't really listening to that bit. 75 prestige, so be it. So we had a couple of rapid battles there to bring that war to a conclusion. This is the one in Tara where we waded in to save the Meath army as it was being attacked by Leinster. So I think we came into the battle late, but there's Dovna, there's Con. I think this is Con's first service with us. And he killed somebody. Killed one of the enemy knights. There's our son, Fiacra. I think we have a couple of sons. And there's Niall's first battle as well, I'm pretty certain, since he returned from his little adventure. So I think this is Fiacre's first battle and Niall's first battle. Brian has been pushed out because he's useless. So that was that one. And it's pretty much then going to be the same names. Dovna putting in an all merciful result. This was the last battle that we had, the one that we captured the chieftain in, and the one before that, where we captured his son. Again, Dovna, great old numbers, same old, same old. So, as the army is going to have to repair a bit, actually, can we stand him down there? We can. So they'll have to recover a bit. We'll get that feast going. So it looks like the raiding season, the 405 raiding season, will see no activity. So Britain will be saved from Irish raids for this year due to upheaval in Ireland, an attempt by Munster to seize Meath, which saw forces of Leinster involved in a kind of a parallel struggle, and there were towards the end forces coming in from Scotland, but they weren't actually able to do something. We will, to celebrate, we'll host a feast. The guests are gathered in the great hall, lords and ladies from the near and far reaches of the realm. The mood is bright, the spirits are high as the feast begins. The chieftain, Eochaid Mugmedón, puts his glass to his mouth, or his tankard, and realizes, oh dear God, my son is still betrothed to that crazy European lady. We should do something about that. Bye-bye. And let's see what... I don't think there's going to be a lot of alliance material. There should be, though, because apparently he's going to become the Emperor of Britain. So it looks like we're going to be strengthening our alliances in Scotland. We already have an alliance with Inverness. Did we raid this region before? I think we did. Here is the 23-year-old ruler. And here is her 9-year-old sister. And if we arrange a marriage between herself and Niall, that will establish an alliance. We can have her convert to Gaelic paganism, and we will eventually have, possibly, a Gaelic emperor and a Pictish empress ruling this region here. That'll be fun. What'll he say to that? So everyone's getting drunk. The news has just come in that a new alliance has been formed for Niall. And Elil is angry over something. What right does he think he has to claim that my ideas of warfare are misguided? My ideas of warfare are the only thing keeping this kingdom going. Claiming that my ideas would break down the moment combat is met. What does he know really? How old are you? Have you even seen battle? Have we allowed you into the army? Have you done anything? I would love a chance to settle this on the battlefield. Do you know what? We'll be going on holidays soon, and we'll have a chance to deal with this. At least Elil showed that you are able to defend your understanding of the martial lifestyle. And discussions on strategy. What does that do for us? Any good? +2 martial. Okay. There you go. Up to 17. Nice. Thanks, Elil, for this argument. Oh god, if it isn't one son, it's the other. Is this actually a party, or is it just a family dinner? As one plate of food is replaced by the next, my son, Niall, goes on and on about sword practice. God, these lads love fighting. And that was how we salvaged that mess. Are you sure I'm not boring you, Dad? No, please go on. It's great. And yeah, sure. Because I think, what do we get? Interesting conversation, diplomacy and learning? Sure. He's only like, what, 17, and he's hammered. Oh god. We could all tell Brian had too much to drink, even though he insisted on showing us how sober he was. He doesn't have any great war stories. He can't talk about war because he's the only one of them that isn't in the army because he's useless. And 11, that's useless in this kingdom. Well, there's prowesses too. Simply raising from his seat proved too much for him. And now I am covered in stinking vomit. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. So we gain more stress than we lost, thanks. And what a show you put on. Yeah, I think we'll just laugh at the show. With our family headed to their respective bedrooms, I am proud to say I'm saying nothing. I have my wife to thank for much of its success, and I feel nothing but gratitude as she puts on the washing machine. Until next time, which is tomorrow morning in this household. So as the snows of November and December begin to appear, we're going to see out the winter period. And then we are going to go on a bit of a journey. Like I said, the year 405, we didn't leave the island at all. And as we hit into March, we begin to see the snows disappearing. And I think it's time to go and find some targets. And so the armies begin to leave just as we receive a lifestyle perk, and you can see where they're heading. They're heading south. They've sailed down past Munster. We'll take a look at our martial perk first of all. We can increase the number of knights by 4. Our problem there is that's going to be bringing in a lot of really useless people. Do I have the ability to invite champions? I do. Because if I increase it by 4, we're bringing, oh boys, Fiachra and Brian back into the army. Fiachra has a prowess of 4 and his brother Eliel has 5. So either they swapped or it was always Eliel. That's, well, always. Eliel's been in the army for 2 years. I can't tell them apart. I don't know which is which. Niall is the only one that I care about. So will we take the... Do you know what we will? Where are we? We'll take Kingsguard. We'll unlock and we will go and invite some knights, some champions. So like I was saying, we've headed around the coast, so we're obviously heading for the southern coast of... No, we're not. We're not heading for Britain at all. We're going to raid into Brittany. We're going to actually strike against the coast of France. What will become France someday. As you can see, bits of upheaval being caused here. And we will deploy our forces on the very edge of mainland Europe. Commander has been promoted. That's actually quite handy. Very well. 16 prowess, can't say no to that. Very well, he will serve us. And they've risen forces. They've risen substantial forces. The might of the Roman Empire has risen to defend, to claim back the baby. Wants the baby back. Right, well, we had better leave. We have made ourselves known on the continent. The peasants in Evonia are in a good mood. The harvest is bountiful. The roads are safe. The village elders are telling nonsensical stories of cows producing honey-laden milk and geese laying golden eggs. So they're giving us some gifts. We can 15 quid. If we do county reinvestment, it will give popular opinion and development growth. Neither of which makes much of a difference. We'll just take your money. Thank you very much. Can we get back out to sea quickly? We can. And what this now provides us with a bit of an opportunity to do is to maybe look at attacking completely random direction. We could wander, we could sail up here. I was really proud of myself. We're not going back to the same old attacks on Britain. We're going to do something different. And it's like, nah, we're just going to head back to Britain. So, I'm not too sure where they are going. They might be joining up with those forces. Uh-oh. My mortal body. High chieftain or peasant, high or low, it does not matter. In the end, we are all mortals. I was reminded of this as I woke coughing in the early morning hours, a dull ache pounding through my head and throat. You seem to be under the weather, my lord. I know a fair number of suitable remedies. He's not that old. Legend has it that Niall of the Nine Hostages died on a raid into Britain, so this would be awkward if we were to die in a raid into Gaul. I think we will do no more than is necessary. She's 15 learning, and she's still a novice physician. Do no more than is necessary. And we're feeling a little bit brighter. Excellent work, woman of Ulster. So that raid progresses a-okay. I don't know if we've taken... How many more prisoners have we taken? We're up to 17. Is there anywhere else that we can hit in this region? I don't know if we can raid... cities, can we? We can. Now, of course, I don't want to get too far away from the coast. I am learning that once we start a raid, I can't leave. I am learning. We could push down the coast a small bit, but if that army is coming up from this direction... And we might be called home early to the preceptive High Chieftain Ucca of Connacht. I call on you to honour our alliance and join me in the Meath conquest of Ennis. So we had Munster attack Meath, and now Meath is returning the favour and is going back to attack Munster. We will accept, but we're busy at the moment. We're busy. Brian has given us another grandson, who he has named after us. Probably because he still feels bad about that time he threw up on us. I was about to say, what the hell are you doing wearing a hat? Yeah, there's been a massive expansion of the Knights. We're letting everybody in there now. May you grow to be strong and wise. Okay. Like your father. So we've lost the ill trait. That's good. I have seen that something has happened just to the east of us. So I'm basically pausing as quickly as possible. They're going off in a different direction. That is good. Do I want to... That's... 18 gold would be nice. Do we want to risk going in that direction? We are into January of 407. We're here, so we might as well. The only thing is, are they joining up? I'm getting panicky now. Look at that, we took another prisoner. That would have been disastrous to have left without taking that prisoner. We've taken a proconsul's spymaster and his son. So we have a couple of prisoners. Let's get out to sea and get to safety and then see how things stand. So we're going to be divils. We're going to take Niall to see his mother. We're going to show her what we have done with her son, converted him to Gaelic paganism, and put him into military uniform, and he's raiding down the place. We have now hit a career total of 19 prisoners, 2 of whom we can ransom back for money. So we'll ransom the 2 kids and the spy master. Nobody's prepared to give us money for the spy master. He won't even, well, he's also thinking about or he's completing another transfer, but he's unprepared to give us anything for his spy master. So we will execute, which is a sacrifice, which gives us dread and piety. So she didn't have any great stats. I think that's our 3rd sacrifice. Like I said, sacrifices at this point in time wouldn't really be happening. But it's still an interesting mechanic in the game. And it's a good thing that we lost all that stress, except for that bit we gained when Brian threw up on us. Oh, it's not bounteous plunder, it's fire and blood. Can we get money? Oh, we can get bounteous plunder. But we don't get money. Adds 30 loot. Fantastic. So we gain 75 prestige and a bit of stress. Is there any other direction that we could move in? It's keeping us a small bit inland. Oh boys, Stonehenge. So they are indeed sending a force in against us. Or is that another raiding army? That was another raiding army that was just badly positioned. We have a camp dispute. Brian, you've been causing nothing but trouble. I knew there was a reason we kicked you out of the army. So he's having a fight with Khan Gawkahach. He's only had about 2 or 3 battles. Khan Kupla Kahach. Khan of the couple of battles. 46% that we can get everybody to pull together and get some martial lifestyle. We could have our son whipped. Or lose some prestige. We'll try and go with this. Deliver a speech about unity. It's a diplomacy challenge, so I might want to try and up my diplomacy to succeed at these in future. We succeeded the last time, and we've succeeded this time as well. We deliver a fantastic speech, and everyone looks very silly and foolish. Well, there you are. And you know what? It would be... We lose some troops, but I do want to visit Stonehenge. Get 4 quid, go to the gift shop. And absolutely, we will then head for the coast. So we can be in a position to get out of here. And we're in a position where if we attack that place, we're not going to get that 21 gold because we don't have enough troops to carry it all. So we'll raid this place out into the ocean, and we will head off. We had a hook on somebody that we released instead of executing them. And there you go. What a bizarre series of events. So we came down, raided the coast, Rome raised its army against us, so we legged it out to sea, off in this direction, and started here, came down through... Is this a region that's maybe at war, attempting to split off? There's a Liberty War going on anyway, and so came down through here, and then across, and we've just cut across the bottom of Britain. I don't know. We'd better return home and see how the war is going. Back in Ireland, it is not going well by the looks of it, and I don't think we're going to be in a position to put together enough soldiers to help. We will try and land in Evonia and see if we can push down, but I think Meade's army is about to be hit. The terror from Crocha, or Crochan. For years, I have swept out on devastating raids, that is true, bringing the full fury of the Dagda to a trembling world, for surely, if she disapproved the Dagda, she would have struck me down by now. Instead, my household sleep surrounded by the stolen fineries of foreign rulers, and exotic slaves warm my bed. Truly, noble and peasant alike quail at my approach, and peasants, silence crying children. with the threat that I'll visit. Let them weep my name. We gain the trait Raider. Now what does that give us? That is fantastic that there's an actual trait. You can get +2 martial, +3 prowess, and +0.3 prestige per month. So that's going to knock a hole in that deficit that we have, which will allow us to raise more Gaelic warbands. Ucka is a well-known plunderer of foreign settlements. That he is, that he is. So that's really cool that we've that there's an actual trait that we were able to get. Those forces are getting absolutely sliced to bits. There's 700 going into that battle. They're not going to reach that battle in time. So what are we on? We're on about 2,300 troops at the moment. We will leave them where they are. I might even pull them back a small bit. Brought back 148 gold though. That is tremendous. Yeah, it'll take a couple of minutes to see what we can do about this war. Right, so there has been a big massive rush around. Meade's forces have retreated way up north. The Isles are way up north as well. Munster is fighting against them. We have put ourselves maybe not in the greatest of positions, because if they come down, we're not going to be able to siege this area in time, are they? So they've now gone for Drumahare, and it has ended in defeat. We lost the war. Breffni was under siege, but it wasn't sieged down, and we got 21 prestige. So how bad? So be it. We have one unmarried son. And alliance opportunities at the moment aren't great. So what we will do is again solidify our alliances in this region. Capable of putting together a 501 army. Not too shabby. Send that proposal. I've also sorted out the knight list. So Morgish, Forvasach and Ead have joined. And they have pushed out Brian. Brian is the only person not allowed in the army. Everyone else is in the army. All his brothers are in the army, except for Brian, who will one day rule Connacht. So we have a pretty good list of knights at the moment, in preparation for next year's tour. And finally, as part of the preparations for next year's raiding, we can take a look at the buildings we were building. So here in Evonia, we have finished with the simple palisades, and I suppose the gathering hall, because again, that prestige is going to be important to us. And into Croken. So we finished the war camps. Am I in an ability to actually upgrade? Not at the moment. We don't have the barracks innovation. I don't think we'll be getting it. I'll probably actually put in the palisades here. And we still have the camp being the longhouse, or the gathering hall, being constructed in Breffni. But that sets us up pretty well now. There's our money spent. And we will just see out the winter and get ready for next year. We've just entered the year 409. We're into January. It's generally March before the snows begin to lift. And this would have been quite common for there to have been actual raiding seasons. So you would have seen this with the Vikings when they arrive later, that they would tend to winter. Either they would return home to Scandinavia for the winter, and then when they started to actually stay in and around the British and Irish Isles, that created tremendous fear and terror in the people, because it was close to constant all-year raiding at that stage. I don't think we're going to start going for courtship. But it's probably easier to finish off the strategist tree enemy fatal casualties increases. Yeah, so we'll just go for hit and run, then sappers, and then strategist. And so we begin to raise our raiders again on the 1st of March, 409. If we take a look at Britain, there is a revolt against Niall's mother, Karina, against the tyranny of her rule. So I'm not too sure what that would do if it is victorious. We can see she has very few troops, and indeed the people who are kind of directly under her. So this province here is fairly weakened. Most of Britain is actually fairly weakened, except if we take a look at these guys. Over here in what is Wales and Cornwall, effectively, he's actually quite strong. He has an army equal in size to hers, and there hasn't been a tremendous amount of raiding in this region. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of our... Who would you call her? Our former concubine. The difficulty and the hardship that she's going through at the moment, and we're going to come in and attack basically the north of England, as we have been doing repetitively. There has been some raiding there. I think there's even some wars going on there. So we're going to land, we're going to take a look at what's going on there, and do you know what? We'll start where we always start. We'll pay a visit again. No, we won't. We'll just sail past the Isle of Man and we'll wave. So we're getting a bit upset with our wife, either Monfind or Mongfind. The legends have it that when Ucca took Karina as his concubine, that Mongfind made life very difficult on her, and when she was pregnant with Niall, one of the legends is that Mongfind made her do heavy labour, hoping to basically induce a miscarriage. So she was quite jealous of Karina. That's one of the many legends, but we are getting sick of her. Everything she does gets on my nerves just a little. The interesting thing is that we actually have a bit of a penalty at the moment for being below our concubine cap. So that's actually another thing that we're doing on this raid, is looking for ladies, looking for love. Ucca is looking for love. So, literally, lock up your daughters. Ucca's on the prowl. With an army the size of what we have, I think it's going to be very difficult for anybody to oppose us. Let's make sure that we aren't in a position to give ourselves a nervous break just yet. Bring me bounteous plunder. Another 30 loot. We should take a look at how much we can actually take home with us. 218 at the moment is our cap. We've captured somebody's mother. Do we want to start pushing? There's no point pushing in to the center of the country. Like I said, these regions have not been raided because they actually have substantial forces, but it might be worth making ourselves known here, especially now that the ruler of this region has been taken captive. And you see, the thing is, there's so many wars going on that they have most likely risen their army, and their army is off somewhere. So let's take a look at what bringing our forces in here would do. We've an indiscreet counsellor, having served me faithfully as my court chaplain. I believe... Oh god, it took me a second to recognize who these characters were. I believe the term is shaman. I entrusted Ben Ulla with the ability to travel freely within my court. Now, Ben Ulla, of course, this is probably as a reward for curing us on the last raid when we were in Northern Gaul. However, I have now learned that she has taken advantage of my hospitality by being indiscreet with Niall. How ironic. She's a physician. Good learning, but she couldn't cure herself. We'll make her rot in jail, or it would be a shame if this got out. This would be very bad for the history books. This would be bad for Niall's reputation. Niall, that facial hair does not suit you. Yeah, you bloody idiots. I'd say we'll just wander down the coast. I don't think we're going to go inland. I don't think there's a need to go inland. Yeah, we can do a tour of the outskirts of Wales. And be pretty happy with ourselves. Here's more family trouble. It's our son, Brian, and his wife. She wants me, and I am terrified of her husband, Brian. Definitely not him. Or of what I might do, I cannot say. I'd say we'll gain some piety. Yeah, we'll gain some piety. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. I mean, I am now known as a raider, so... And it's well known that Ukka's on the prowl for ladies, so... They're all turning their attention to Ukka. We have another prisoner. I think that's prisoner 21. It is indeed prisoner 20 and 21. So we can ransom this guy for 10. How much will they... What's the money? We can get 10. Or take her as a concubine. I think we'll take the 10. And so as Ukka is swiping through a Tinder app made of all of the prisoners in his dungeons, we are informed that Leinster is raiding Dromahair. There's not a lot we can do. I don't think we're going to be able to get the army back in time to actually do anything. Do I want to break off from raiding now to go back and deal with that? We're into December. So we can get him to Breffni. We can at least stop him from raiding anywhere else, like into Crochan itself. And I think we're gonna deal with Leinster in the only way we know how. Ulster, I don't know why, but I think Ulster has actually come in and broken the siege, and then we've come in and hit them again. Our glory is widely known. We captured 9 loot from them. It does look like Dromahair was sieged, but I don't think anybody was captured. Okay, well, we're going to deal with them the only way we know how. So we could, if we wanted to, we could convert Connacht into being a city-state. I don't think we will. We could take a look at that battle. So there wasn't a huge amount of forces on either side. We'll take a quick look at Leinster. How does it stand? It is allied to Munster through marriage. And how does Munster stand at the moment? 2,700 troops. My plan was to declare a war on Leinster for sacrifices. I don't think we're going to be in a position to do that. So I will restart these guys raiding, and we are going to wander in and see what we can see in Leinster. So this is going to be the first raid that we will conduct on the island of Ireland in some time. And we have a declaration of love from somebody. So you might remember that we recruited some champions recently. One of them was Forvasach. His surname is kind of interesting. Mach-in Sagart. Now it should be Mach-un Sagart. Unsagart being the priest. And I think I've addressed this before. There are a number of surnames which have effectively religious connotations, indicating that individuals are parts of families that have maybe held hereditary religious positions. So Machanaspig would be another one, son of the bishop. So Forvasach son of a priest of a religion that has not yet arrived in Ireland at this point in time. But his wife, we married him off to somebody, and she's declaring her love for us. Go way out of that. We're not going to be carrying on like that. I was going to say the interesting thing about Eochaid, or one of the legends, is that Eochaid enforced a boru, or a borova, a cattle tribute that Leinster had historically apparently paid since the days of Tuathail Teachmar. So when Tuathail Teachmar lands with possibly a Roman army, takes Meath, and then his grandson is Concaith Cach. At some stage, the tribute fell into abeyance. It wasn't enforced anymore. So it would have been an annual cattle tribute that Leinster would have paid to Connacht. So that fell into abeyance, and it's Eochaid that is said to have reinforced that, but without needing to attack Leinster. So he just glared at them, and they started paying him money again. We've gotten 54 quid out of them, so you can't complain too much about that. That'll teach you now. That'll teach you. Back home we go. And we'll plan for next year's raiding season. And it only makes sense with all the money that we're after getting that we would build palisades, so that we can hopefully prevent that from happening again in Breffni, in Dromahare. The army has been stood down, and we will hold off until March of next year. Look at this, Leinster has risen its army again to go and attack Meath. Do you know what? We'll raise the army, because we're still hostile to them. So in the depths of winter, we will raise the army, and we will, if nothing else, we will help Meath. Our champion, Morgish, so I think this is his third, maybe his second battle only, killed one of their leaders, so we've driven them out. So there he is, he's actually taken over from Dubna as the kill leader. I know they're equal on prowess. I bet there's rivalry between the two of those. So every knight, all knights need a rival, somebody to push them on. I think it's Fiachra has a rival. His mother. Good man, Fiachra. Good man. We were just about to head out to sea, to head for the west coast of France. Britain is in such upheaval that there's not actually any good raiding spots. And we have been called into a war. Mearns is who we formed an alliance with there with the marriage of our last son, is attacking for control of Angus. We will accept. We will see if we can stand down the army. We're going to out into the ocean first of all. We're going to party like we have 1999 troops. And we're going to accept helping this ape. Does he even need our help? He doesn't really need our help, but if we could get in there first, we might actually be able to capture a good peasant leader. I don't think so. That's not the way it works. If we capture this guy, he will end up in your man's prison. So we've already lost some forces by doing absolutely nothing. We lost one soldier in the roundabout turn. We're down to 1984. That's a bad omen. And oh god, I was about to say, do you really need help? I thought it was 500 against 94. Yeah, we'd better go up and help him. So it does look like we actually did a good job by coming up here. Mearns abandoned the siege to attack a larger army and then came back and didn't attack them. I'm not actually entirely too sure what happened there. So if I am correct, we have the man himself with his siege skills. God. Negotiate alliance. Cinder. Vicarious Muil Mac Ucca of Britannia. My dear father, I eagerly propose to formalize the ties that already bind us together by signing an alliance between our realms. Just gonna continue my siege. Oh look, a martial lifestyle perk. So that's kind of weirdly handy. What we can do is take sappers. We have 3 skirmishers. We have 3 Gaelic warbands, which are skirmishers. They're going to add a tiny bit of siege progress, so we will unlock that. And that puts us just 1 short of getting the strategist trait. Do you know what? With this place collapsing into anarchy, he has command of an army with allies of just over 1,000. So this place is collapsing. If we agree we're going to get dragged into wars we'll either have to take part in or lose prestige by avoiding. I'm afraid to say that we will decline that alliance. It's been so long since we've had to do a proper siege that I've forgotten how long they actually are. There is, I think, prisoner number 22. Where the hell are my prisoners? Prisoner number 22. And that should be, yeah, 100% war score. And I'd totally forgotten about this, as we are the head of the dynasty. Are we still the head of the dynasty, considering our son is effectively the Emperor of Britain? We have access to the dynasty legacies. We're obviously going to go for House of Warriors, Knight Effectiveness, plus 15%. Absolutely. I think we left with 1,984 troops, and we're coming home with 2,013. Where did, like, who joined? Just had random people joining us during the battle. We're into August. Do we want to go and attack? I'm waiting for wars to break out. There you go. Right, he's already, oh dear God, he's already attacking the Western Roman Empire for independence. So my tremendous apologies to Niall. I was making up rumours about him. He didn't start this war. He's not the leader. It's for the independence of this region here. But Niall has joined in. I'd say they're going to get a baiting unless this lad is involved in other wars. So populist uprising. What's this? Another liberty war and an independence war. They're not looking for liberty. They're looking for independence. So, do you know what? Maybe the crazy lunatics might pull it off. I'm also being told that I apparently still control whether or not my son marries into a random house. I could break this betrothal and let him do whatever he wants. Nope. I bet you gladly accept becoming whatever it was, vicarious. As much as I would love to go further afield, we are heading for Cornwall. I think we're going to take a few regions down around here and return home, so we're paying a visit to our son. I'm sure he was delighted to see our army arriving. The snows are starting to set in. He was delighted to see us arriving with an army, and then he realised what was happening. Vicarious Niall gained the trait Great Pox. Any ideas? Any ideas where Niall could possibly have contracted the Great Pox from? Any ideas? Anyone? Please type below in the chat, because I can't possibly see how Niall could have gotten the Great Pox. No idea. We're plundering this poor young lad's house, burning the place to the ground. We've shaved the back of his head. We're going to take more money. And we've also captured his Chancellor. So there you go, prisoner number 23. Now I don't know if there's any major penalties to raiding in winter. It's still not something that I want to be doing, and if we do get hit by a big enough army, that could start to cause trouble. I think this is the last kind of wealthy region that I want to hit. Oh, I was gonna... Oh well. He actually would have been a good physician. I really should get a better physician. What with the one I have at the moment dying of the pox. The third Munster attempt to conquer Athlone. God damn it. Well, look, we were going returning home anyway. Something has happened. Lots of things have happened. Does somebody have a ton of allies? The Isle of Man is fighting with us. Oh, they're not going to enjoy that. Prisoner number 24 is gone to meet the Dagda. Our daughter Ulach comes of age in the midst of the war. And I have split the army up in this kind of bizarre... Or I won't say I've split it up in this bizarre fashion. I was going to bring him into Mayo. I am wondering, again, same old questions. Should we try to hit the army that they have here that's actually sieging Athlone? If they fail to bring in the army to the south, nope. And Eochaid was slain. We have gotten the advantage, however. So we are losing tremendous amounts of troops. So Eochaid was slain during the Battle of Athlone. I think this is only his third or fourth battle, the poor man. And he was killed. I think it just says he was slain in battle. So that's the only way that Brian re-added to the army, because his brother Niall has gone off gallivanting. Fiachra is after getting himself wounded. And look at these for numbers. Morgash getting 126, Dove now 107. Again, that's the group around them. But absolutely crushing the forces. There's Conal Kirk. Did we have Conal in our prison for a while? We did. My god, the history of battles that we have had with Munster. So the Leinster army is heading off in one direction. Munster's army is the larger and the stronger. Meath is actually sieging down Tralee, which is based where Clorglan is. It would make a lot more sense for this to be Corcagoina. Both at this point in time and in the vanilla CK3, instead of this region being the barony of Tralee, the barony of Corcagoina. What would be the best thing to do? We could... I think if we follow... Well, these guys have recuperated. So, if we can hit them... We've taken a ton of prisoners. I don't even know what's going on. Meath is heading for... Munster. Munster just looks to be standing still. I'd say we could call this a day. We had a battle there. At least two of their rulers have been captured. The actual leader of Leinster has been captured, from what I can see. 2 prisoners. Donal, are you any good at anything? No, you're not. Donal could be getting an old execution. I'd say if we ransom this lad back to himself before the war ends. So we have somebody joining our court called Finn. Finn Mac Huishtele, which I think is Costello, basically. He's irritable. Do you know what? Yeah, we need as many people. I don't even know why I'm thinking about this, but yeah, absolutely. So the problem there is that Meade's forces are Munster's forces have actually regrouped, which is not good because they're now much greater than anything that we can manage. What would be handy is if Meade would try to make battle with them. I can see what they're doing. They're chasing down Leinster. Chase them up into the Dublin or the Wicklow Mountains. I don't actually know. Well, if we can get back into our territory, recoup some losses, and we might be able to fight another battle against Munster. Leinster is attempting to get in and reinforce, which is not what I want. I don't think I'm going to be able to stop them. No. Some randomer in the court is after giving away secrets about the wetlands. Probably where all the bog bodies are buried. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. We get more vigilant for a while. Are we going to get many more troops? Our alliance has ended since Fiachra and Ceannach are no longer married. Died under mysterious circumstances. It kinda looks like he's hiding his arm inside his vest, but I know he's not. I know he's not. Right. So the alliance that we're fighting to uphold at the moment doesn't exist anymore. We do kind of need to protect this alliance to make sure... Fair play to you. Niles after losing the pox. We do need to maintain this alliance to make sure that Munster doesn't actually take control of parts of Meath, because that could be highly problematic for us. We gain that strategist trait. Perfect timing. I think we are going to have to, with what we have, go in against them and hope it's enough. I think it should be. We have a nice bit of an advantage. They are getting into the hills, though. They're getting into the hills in Nina. And never mind. So, victory. 48 prestige. And what timing? What timing? We would have won that battle. We would totally won that battle. You can see we're a bit low on champions at the moment. Not low. We have 12 out of 13. So I have just hired Theodvald, or Theobald. He was a guest in our court, so he is not assigned to being a champion at the moment. So what I will do is I will allow him. So that's his marshal. That's how he's going into battle. I hope he's wearing pants. I think it only makes sense that we should call a hunt at this point in time. And I also got to pop up that my court physician is no longer a novice physician. She is now a physician, and that's probably because she cured herself of the Great Pox and also cured Niall, I presume. So, fair play. Not too shabby at all. And the last thing is our poor prisoner Donal. Good luck. So I think is that the entire hunt done? It's the first pop-up we've gotten. A fox. I think we've just killed a fox. We get 50 quid for the fox. Fantastic. A notable guest has arrived. We return home. So gain some prestige, gain some money. Got rid of some stress. And at this point in time, I haven't actually done it yet. So what we might do is see what going on a pilgrimage in pagan Ireland looks like. So we will prepare for the journey. We can go to Inishmaan The groves in Arran are to Tara. Obviously to Tara. They're all pretty much the same distance away as is suggested by the price. We'll go to Tara. We'll go to Tara. We've gone to Tara plenty times and had plenty of battles there. That is a nice prowess score. So let's see if we can actually recruit him. 10 is not shabby. Absolutely. And hopefully you will keep your clothes on when you fight. And there's Fiacra has been pushed out. That must really suck for Fiacra that he is not as good as... Wait, is Fiacra... Who lost their arm? Oh, it was Fiacra. Sorry. Sorry, Fiacra. I thought it was Alil. Again, I can't tell which one of you is which. Which one of you is Niall? Oh wait, no, he's gone. Never mind. So basically, yeah, we're gonna establish an alliance with the Faroe Islands for Fiacra, whose wife died under mysterious circumstances during that battle. That could well have been Munster murdering her. To break the alliance, we now have no allies on the island of Ireland, and there's pretty much nothing that can be done now to stop Munster from taking Athlone in the Fourth War. Because I imagine there's going to be a Fourth War. We depart for our pilgrimage, travelling under the protection of the Tuatha Dé Danann. Time to depart. We've established that alliance with the Faroe Islands, and as we depart, we are told that our wife has died. Perhaps I should be ashamed, but in truth there was no love lost between us. Finally, I am free to start my life anew. Not one day too soon. Loses 15 stress. And she died of natural causes at 50 years of age. So he's after getting himself lost on the way to Tara. So he's here, and he's going here. He's not even going that far. I think he's going up here. He's gotten himself lost. We must find a guide, no matter the cost, or I swear it's just a little further in this direction. He's going to be lost for 5 years. Severe health penalty. We lose the gold. My god, we had over 400 gold at one stage. We have arrived. I'm finally here, body and soul, at the sacred grove of Tara. As the bard offers me blessings, I reflect on everything that had to happen for the Tuatha Dé Danann to bring me here at this moment in time. So we get 250 piety, and in the footsteps of my forebears for 10 years. Close family opinion, plus 10. Aww. Aww. My journey has been a long one, but I have finally come home again. While much remains the same, something has changed in how the bards and bards treat me. So he's undergone the journey of a holy man. I don't know. And he's delighted to be home. We're into October. I'm going to see if we can find any suitable alliances. A lot of them seem to be... All of them seem to be with places that we already have alliances to. So... I was just about to pause the game to begin the process of raising an army for a raid. This is problematic. Oh, the Dagda. How could you do this to Fiacra? Was that Fiacra? Oh, it is, yeah. If I have sinned, why did you not punish me instead? He was blameless, my perfect son. Life had so much more in store for him. It's actually entirely possible that because of the fact that he was maimed, that he would have been ineligible to succeed to the rule of one of the counties under our control. So the stress that was lifted on his mother's death has now been reimposed on us with his death. He died from internal injuries, so of course he had been maimed in the battle, or in the war, in the conflict that claimed his the life of his wife. It was for his father-in-law that we were fighting effectively. They had no children, and that's going to cause some trouble. Because now, if I am correct, if we see our counties, Brian, Alil, and Brian. So I have 3 counties and 3 sons. I'm certain one of them will probably go to this ape. So that's gonna cause a bit of conflict. So the High Chiefdom will go to Brian. So Niall is in succession for all of them. So our son has died as a result of the wounds that he received in battle. How do you get over a loss like that? You get back on the raiding ship. And we're told that another one of our alliances has ended. Since Fiachra is no longer... Yeah, I wonder what happened there. Whose court is she in? She is still in... Oh, that was only a betrothal. So with the loss of Fiachra, who I think he'd actually been pushed out of the army, we are being told about a new commander has been promoted. Those are not good stats, and generally flies or bees flying around a brain is not great. However, he's better than Brian, so do you know what? We'll hire him. And I don't know how many years it's taken, but finally we are back to resume our raiding of the west coast of France. Maybe the histories will say that Eochaid took sympathy on his son and ceased his raids into Britain on his ascension to power. We have been told that somebody is trying to kill the wife of basically our top champion. So our spy master and oh no, it's our shaman. Our druid is our court physician as well. So we must stop the villain behind this. And our counselor and one of our champions, Trenka, has died, gout-ridden. So that's given us an empty council position. Who is going to take this? It looks like Dovna is the best. He is already serving as our marshal. We could assign this guy as our marshal. Constantinus, I think, will be assigned as our marshal. So yeah, so Dovna will be reassigned to Chancellor, and Marshal then Constantinus. Constantinus has been in line to take this for a good while. Oh, that's right, he was our steward. Oh, this is so confusing. And Big Naked Theobald will take the steward's position. Thank God for that 54. Thank God for that 54. And so in 416, down the coast we go. We've taken a prisoner. I think that is prisoner 27. I actually don't have a clue. Bounteous Plunder will, yeah, give us Bounteous Plunder. We've taken this region. We're heading down the coast. Even the kind of the weaker regions, like a 5, that's not much. But it's better than 3 gold, which is what we've been getting in some of the other regions. If we were to have stayed in Britain, we'll say. And I think the Empire is suffering considerable upheaval at the moment. So we're going to be, I would hope, largely unopposed. My spymaster is coming with grave news. It is my champion, Ulan, who is plotting against... what will this be? Maybe his rival's wife? The Brooding Fiend. So we'll deal with this shortly. More prisoners. Could we crack 30 prisoners in this raid? I think we're on 29. Somebody is... Not going executing, and nobody wants to pay money, so we will release. Will we demand a conversion? We actually also have their child. I think I will gain a weak hook and release. We will get 10 from the child's liege. Sure. And this guy is going to demand his conversion, and recruit will not accept. We're going to recruit him to court because this is our new physician. He has joined. He won't convert. Well, what we're going to do is, where is it? Appoint as court physician. So we're paying him some money. Ben Ulla, look, you did great work curing yourself of gout. Or I should say the Great Pox, but you did terrible work having an affair with my son. So, look, be happy that we didn't throw you in prison. Let's see if we can find any other talented people. We have captured, I think, 2 more people. So I think that might be it. In terms of hitting 30 prisoners. As we push south, the winter shouldn't affect us as much. The only problem is that there's actually a lot of land in which there's nothing really worth raiding. Now we could we go in the coast? Let's see if we can hit this region. So what's the fastest way there? Because I think we can do river raiding, so we should be able to raid this area. Let's see how much trouble we're creating for ourselves. And with that, I think cannot traverse this body of water. I think with that, would it be worth trying to break out to the coast? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we are going to return home after almost a year of raiding and see what the scenario looks like. There we go, prisoner number 30. Gonna ransom them home for 10 gold. We return home with 144 gold. And we've seen what we had always feared. Leinster has attacked and taken Tara. And now there is this rather large power to our south. Munster and Leinster allied with each other. We'll see if we can find a suitable alliance for the king, or for Ucha himself. So this is pretty much an alliance of convenience, or a marriage of convenience. A 0-year-old Baba married to a 56-year-old man. That will give us an alliance to Ulster, which Ulster might be able to use if it needs to defend against the southern powers. We have become known for our dedication to our faith, just as we get a pop-up about somebody who definitely isn't. He's dedicated to something, but it's not to faith. Dovna has been having indiscretions with my daughter. So I think, yeah, what we're going to do is he's going to pay for crossing us. This is an act of tyranny causing your subjects. We don't have any subjects. So he's going to go to jail. We're going to have to find somebody to marry her off to. We're not, again, getting great alliance prospects. There is the chieftain. I think he's way out in... I think this is way out in Scandinavia. It is indeed. The only other option would be to marry her off to secure that alliance with our... I think this was our son's... I think Fiacra was engaged to her. I can't remember. Do you know what? You've been causing trouble, so off you go. And because we've imprisoned Dovna, we need to appoint a new Chancellor. Theobald has put some clothes on. That's because he's not in the army anymore. And so Ireland begins to spiral into chaos. The alliance between Connacht and Tara, which protected them from at least three attempts by Munster to seize power. That alliance has fallen, and now Leinster has retaken Tara. They would have claimed that Tara had always belonged to them, and that they are basically reasserting their ancient dominance over the region. A member of the family has come to power in Britain, which has been of absolutely no benefit to us whatsoever. Britain has always been a very close and beneficial raiding target, and we want to kind of maintain that. It's entirely possible that in his old age, Ucca is going to return to raiding Britain. At the start of this episode, he needed a concubine. Now he needs a concubine and a wife. He has, however, become known as the Raider, feared throughout the British and Irish Isles, and now the northern and western coast of Gaul. I don't know what to say. His death, Fiachra's death, I should say the death of his son, is going to impact things a bit, because I think that does mean one of our three provinces will end up going to Niall. And Niall, of course, is causing trouble. We can see a big branch of Britain is glowing for some reason. I presume there's a rebellion. I'm going to call it there for this episode. Presumably, I'll only be playing on as Ucca, and maybe the very earliest years of Brian's rule, just to see what effects Ucca's death will have. So presumably, the next episode will be the last one. And let's see how much longer we can keep Ucca alive. Let's see how much more destruction and devastation he can cause. Can he increase his fame any further? Can he become exalted among men? Be tough to get to the living legend. But we are now actually generating a positive number in prestige. So he was generating negative prestige for a long time. But we've built some buildings that's improving his prestige. So yeah, we're going to see how powerful of a legacy we can create for Eochaid Mugmedón as he continues to raid throughout Ireland and Gaul. And let's see if he can keep Connacht together against the rising power, effectively, of Le Moga. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Do check out the links in the description for a link to the Fallen Eagle mod. The Maniacal Link Discord, Twitch links are there. If you've made it this far, give the video a like. And I will see you and talk to you on the next video.